Open up your mind to the way, the conscious way, the way of conscious mindfulness. Hey, Sifu Buggy here, and welcome to the Way of Conscious Mindfulness, to this slightly early afternoon show with a very special guest. A guest he's been on before, and I'm very glad he's on again. But firstly, who the heck am I, and what's this show all about? Well, my name is Sifu Buggy. Sifu means guide, muse, somebody who points you along the way, who guides you on your path. Buggy means the balancer between the chaos and the calmness. And it is my martial art name, it is my spiritual name, and it is my healing name. And for the past 37 years, I have been studying the Taoist arts and Tai Chi, Qigong, Tit-Ta, Tuina, which is Chinese massage, mixture of reflexology, many other healing techniques, because my Sifus, my teachers, their goal, their mission was to everything you learn enhances everything else you do. And also, from those techniques that we learn and do, we help supercharge healers, light workers, and coaches, especially, but anybody who wants to learn and ensure that they never burn out of energy or burn out. So what's this show all about? Well, this show is The Way of Conscious Mindfulness, which is a regular podcast and Facebook Live show discussing spirituality and science, balancing health and well-being with mind, body, and spirit, with a Taoist twist. What does the Tao mean? The Tao means the way, the path, the balance. Now, surprise, surprise, this isn't a normal talk show. Anything with me in it is definitely not normal. And each week we either have a subject or a guest. Today we have a very favourite guest of mine, a very awesome guest. He's been on before, and I've managed to pull his arm and his leg and the rest of him and get him on again. So without further ado, and a couple of clicks of the buttons, as it always takes, is we will get on the mighty, the illustrious, the illustrious, the magnificent, the man himself, the doc himself, the mighty Barefoot Doctor, in 3, 2, 1. Hello, Doc. How are you doing?
I'm very good, Sifu Buggy. How are you?
All is good. Oh, so if we do it right, all is good in the hood. So is one of my catchphrases. But yeah, it's a great pleasure to have you back on the show, and it's a great pleasure to make the man who's made me laugh many times in the past to make you laugh. So it's a great pleasure and honour.
It's your ebullience. It's unsurpassed.
Well, yes, I do my best, and some people think I do better than that. So it's yeah, you know. Well, I used to be a close protection officer. I've done close protection. I've done many different things, and when you can laugh when everybody else is being miserably serious, and you can see the beauty in life and the wonder in life, then you'll always have a smile on your face, and hopefully the people around you will have a smile on their faces too. Because for me, that's healing, happiness, laughter, smiling is healing. That's the best healing there is. So it's all good in the hood. So what are you up to, my dear friend? What are you up to at the moment, sir?
I'm producing no less than 150 tracks, pretty much all at the same time, called Amped Head Microdoses. And each one is 3 minutes long and addresses a different issue. And I'm in the process of developing an app for Amped Head and setting up a record label called Nook Tracks, which would be for Amped Head and also for other people I'm producing that all have a message and what have you. So at the moment, I'm mostly engaged in that. Last week, I ran a retreat here in Spain with 20 people, 10 men and 10 women. Beautiful. That was really, for me, that's my time off, because when I get to focus on just giving to people and helping them flower, and it really, you know how it is, I've been doing these retreats for 40 years, but I've been involved in all this stuff for 50, since I was a teenager. And even despite being a very slack student, as you could probably guess, I got good at it. You get good at it after a while. So like with the music, you keep going with it, you get good at doing it. And it's a really nice feeling of being able to know that you'll be able to efficiently bring people through a quantum jump in a lovely, gentle way that works for them. And it was very, very lovely, gratifying, and also lovely to watch them flower. And then getting back here home and carrying on working, in this insane, absolutely insane mission that I've sort of landed myself. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun and fascinating because I'm being channeled through. I mean, there's no question about it. Whatever. Like when I used to have my acupuncture practice, I'm sure you've experienced this. I would feel the presence of some ancient Chinese master telling me what was wrong with them and then what to do. I would then check that against my intellectual training part of it, and the pulses, and as long as I went with that, miracles happen. But if I did it the straight way, which is right, take the pulse, all right, you use these points for that, do it intellectually, it worked, but never with the miracle. It just sort of did the job. And it's the same with the music. There's just stuff coming through, and it's just telling me what sound to create, what kind of tempo, what kind of key, everything. The lyrics, as long as I stay receptive and really don't get in the way with any agenda of my own, it just is magic. And I'm sitting here watching these miracles unfold as a party to it, rather than feeling responsible for it. Somebody asked me yesterday that the difference, because I was saying to them, you're really good at what you do. And they said, I find it hard to accept that compliment because it's something coming through me. And I said, well, it's kind of like you are allowed to take credit for being a good channel, I think, for doing that job well, being the craftsman, whatever you want to call it. And I think you are, you must, in fact, go, thank you.
well, it's the whole thing of you are allowed to see the glass as a beautiful thing, even though it's the liquid that nourishes you. But without the glass, you won't get that nourishment as easily or as wonderfully. So we're all vessels. I mean, it's one of the secret things I've never really said. I talk about a lot about the dragon. My teachers taught the Taoist shaman stuff as the dragon dog shaman, and the dragon dog shaman, it is like everything is energy and energy is conscious. But so you are, you're connected to, or you receive the information from the universe, from the Tao, and or very similar to like the spontaneous qigong. You just go with the flow. There was certain people obviously in the West that have called that, that's being possessed, and it's like, no, it's just going with the flow, man. It's just but like you say, is like for me my Barefoot Doctor side has been, that's all the like the side that's the checklist to go, that's right. I'm not making it up. Yeah, that's right. That information's correct. And as long as it balances, creates Tai Chi, balances between the yin and the yang, for me. So one side is the spontaneous side, and the other side is the that works. That's right. That's as long as and that's with. You've done it for many years with music and the books, with the knowledge, and I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that, yes, you are a wonderful cup. You are an awesome cup. And if it wasn't for that awesomeness of that cup that you are, you wouldn't be able to fill up the liquid, the information, the knowledge. So I think you're meant, I think if anything, you're meant to, you are allowed to acknowledge your ability to channel these skills, because otherwise, if you weren't doing it, it would just be in the space. It would just be in the ether. It would just be there rather than in people's hearts and in their ears and allowing them to resonate. But as any good Taoist to say, hey, what do I know?
No, very well put. Nice analogy.
Thank you. So I mean, you and you do lots of crazy ass missions and doing 100 tracks. Yeah, that sounds like the Barefoot I know. You like doing, but then you do. You achieve it, and it makes it fun because you've stepped up the gear again, and you've made it that you haven't got time to think. You haven't got time to analyze it.
I wish I did though sometime. I wish I could give myself the 3 days it's going to take to do all the filing on this project. And I keep putting it off and putting it off. And the longer I put it off, the more scary it gets and the more messy it's getting. So it's that part of me could use a little bit of sprucing up. But if I let that rule the roost, I wouldn't come through with these, I was going to say masterpieces, these gems that are coming through. They wouldn't happen because I'd be sitting there doing admin instead. It's very interesting, striking that balance. The lyric of the one I just did was, if I could remember it, I don't have to do anything to justify my existence. I don't have to be anything, have anything. I don't have to achieve anything. All I have to do is appreciate being here. Appreciating it appreciates me. And everything I need to achieve achieves itself.
That is beautiful. That is very, very. And those gems. In actual fact, it's funny. I think that's just the flow. It's the way the energy flows, the way the Tao within us. Because there has been past times where people have said, "Oh, you sound very like Barefoot Doctor," and I say, "Well, in invisibility terms, he's been my Sifu for a long time through his books and the music and everything else." But yeah, it's that way of the Tao. Our way of the Tao has that slightly fun way that and that flowing of words and it's seeing it's saying what you see and in that flowing way, and that's what makes it so awesome. But I think it, or at least I'm very similar to you, Barefoot. Is the fact of I seem to like having deadlines that are right close up to the edge. I always leave things to the last bit, but then I do really well when I leave it to the last minute. When I give myself plenty of time, I end up sitting around not doing much anyway. So it's let's do, because people often joke. My healing, I'm known for doing like 18 hours a day. Well, my record was 18 hours of massage in a camp in one day, and everybody goes, "Oh, how do you find the energy?" It's there. It's if you open up to it and access it, it's there. But if I didn't, when I'm not doing 900 things all at once in 18 hours, I tend to sleep. It's like if I try to have a day off, I'll just sleep all the day, and it's like, well, what's the point in that? So I'd rather actually be busy doing lots of stuff than you're not being busy, because when I tend to not be busy, I tend to be asleep, unless I make myself go down to the coast, down to my namesake, because my surname is Brighton. So I tend to try to go down there at least a couple of times a week if I can, and then be with the sea and do qigong at the sea and whatnot, and that's always quite cool. But you have to be you. That's the whole point. You have to be, your character has to be that, and then you express the universe through that. Or at least that's what I find.
What I think is implicit in listening to you speaking is that we play. We find the child, the pre-conditioned child, the spontaneous spirit that just plays. What is really lovely is with that yin-yang balance of the play combined with the sensibleness, or whatever you call it, the order, the responsible order, because there has to be, as an adult, you can't not have order. You've got to deal with some kind of order. And it's that juxtaposition of the two, that the spirit must be able to play freely while somehow being guided through a very pleasant order, a protocol or whatever, procedure. That's like martial arts, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Isn't it? Well, the true, like I say, it's taken me a long time to get into the people around me, or some people around me, because they see martial arts. Oh, martial arts is fighting. It's like, you really don't understand what just listen to the word martial, which is the structure, art, the flowingness, the freedom, the beauty, and the thing of me is I take fun very seriously. I take the way of be like a child but take responsibility like an adult, how it was taught to me in the Taoist concept, very seriously, is that I very much believe in fun and play, but I also believe in practice. I also believe in helping others, but never helping others by emptying my own cup. Your cup needs to be overflowing before you help others. And for me, with qigong, with stretching, neigong, with meditation, shengong, when I do a little bit of that every single day, I'm left overflowing, so I can do 18 hours of healing, or I can go around on roller skates spinning and jumping, or ice skates spinning and jumping, or doing all the mad crazy stuff I do, making people laugh and helping people. You can do that when you're balanced yourself, when you're healed yourself, when you're healing yourself, because you're never healed. There's always more to heal. There's always more to energize. Because the whole point is that we're constantly growing, therefore we're constantly flowing. And if you keep it flowing, you keep it growing. It's when people either take things too seriously or try to stop stuff. Because in my Sifus, one of the biggest things they would say, if you're ill, your energy's blocked. You've stopped. Something's stopped. Something's no longer moving, because the body is meant to be constantly flowing and moving. Even if you're doing Jamjong, standing still, standing like a tree, inside you're flowing and the stillness is on the outside. But there's always that balance between the two. So, my friend, let's see what the people out there are saying. So Kiaf is saying greetings. Jake is saying hello, Sifu. Bert is 7 waves and love. Eleanor is saying hello from San Diego. Lynn is saying hi as well. Sarah is saying hi. Lynn is using my catchphrase, Care Bear Share. Yep, Care Bear Share if you dare. That's what I say. So what else, Doc? What else can we talk about? What else would you like to say?
How may I be of service to you today?
That's normally what I say to my guests. Okay, so what? So you said what you're doing now. What have you got out there at the moment? Because the tracks you did last year or the beginning of the year, what were they called, and what were they about?
Well, it was the same project. That was Amped Head, but then was called Amped. It's now called Amped Head. It's grown ahead. Those were 3 volumes. The 3 volumes that are 6 hours each, long each, and so it's 18 hours of very deep brain entrainment, and it will teach you. It's Wu Wei, with the Wu Wei manifesting magic. So you listen to it. You have to listen to each the 6 hours 6 times round. So you listen to it 1 hour a day. But you listen to 1 hour a day, and you do that for 6 days, and you move on to the next one and the next one. And if you can do all that, you'll be completely and utterly transformed. And it works as well. It's really good. The thing is with it, though, in this day and age of very short attention span, that's great for my dedicated audience, for people to understand the value of that. But I'm very interested in reaching young people who really need help at the moment. Everyone does, but my heart always goes to people who are just starting out at a time like this, in a world like this. So I really, anyway, it came through me that I had to do it, to create a whole raft of shortcuts, 3-minute tracks that people can access the same way they access any other track, because it's dance music after all, and that way reach young people in a way that they'll dig it. And these are really succinct, rather than being an hour long. If you want to listen on and repeat 6 times, it will really work well. But they're great, man. I mean, that's what I'm do them,
Oh.
help us, so that the people can access them on the app when it's ready, and I think it's the way I
we're losing you a
can
little
help
bit.
most people.
We're losing you. Sorry, Barefoot. We're losing you a little bit. Your signal.
You've disappeared, man.
Yeah. So, can you hear me? Your signal was cutting out a little bit. Oh no, we're not back to doing this again, are we? Right, guys, can you still?
Come in. Yeah.
Can you? Right. Are you there, Barefoot? No. Right. Okay, guys, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? I know there's a backlog. Guys, can you still hear me? No, that one's gone. Guys, can you still hear me?
It all just.
I know. It's right. I can hear you just fine. Yes, okay, it's finally come through, and I think you're back now because you were breaking it in and out. We got up to that the new ones that you're doing, the 3-minute tracks are more for younger people because the attention span. We know that the attention span has got less. So we got up to that bit. I don't know if you can continue.
I was just saying. I mean, the big volumes, they still stand as like the prize at the end of the journey for people. But these microdoses, they will have an effect. I mean, that's the idea, to reach lots of people and help with that. I'm also producing a lot of other really interesting people too. There's an Indian guru called Pretty Nitty who's really funny, and I've done a track with her, just telling it's really reassuring. Just everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. So that's quite nice. And then another one with a woman called Woodsy, who's a really great pianist and singer, and she's had quite a lot of experience with mental health, and or the opposite of it, and has really been quite an intrepid explorer. I've got her doing the first of the series specifically about mental health. Like, for example, don't be afraid of losing your mind. I lost my mind loads of times. I always got it back. And then there's a guy called Patrick Dawes from Groove Armada who I'm done 2 albums with. The first one's ready to release now. It's like a shamanic, a real alchemist, this guy, incredible percussionist. He speaks. So I get them all to speak, basically. I get them to do what I do on my ones. And I kind of draw it out of them and just create a narrative out of it. And it's beautiful what he's done. And then there's this woman called Minnie Mins, who's a brilliant pianist. I've done 2 tracks with her, recorded in a 13th century Norman church with her playing Steinway Grand. Very, very beautiful. So, yeah, nice stuff happening. And all that's going to come out of Nook tracks. And I've got great people working with me, luckily, because otherwise this would not be possible. That working together is quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
teamwork.
I've loved your stuff, but also the combos that you've done. Breathe. I'm trying to remember who was in Breathe and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, are we back? Are you back there, Barefoot? Can you hear me? Oh no!
Juliana, yeah, she was gorgeous.
Yes, yeah, and you've done some great. You've done some great. Here. Oh, yeah, cool. You've done some great combos, some great combinations before, and that's what I love you, because every time you do something with somebody else, you're adding both flavors together and you're creating something beautiful, and you're really good at that. You've definitely done that before,
Thank you.
And you're welcome. You've done that many times before, and that's the whole point, and that's what I love. It, and it's keeping things fresh, and it's allowing you to share out that information, that knowledge to so many other people, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, it feels like while we're here, we do as much of that as we can without self-sacrifice. Just because that's our dance, and that's how we dance with the world. And we dance as big as we can, and then we're out. We're gone. It seems like you've got to dance it as big and kindly as you can do, I reckon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all a dance. It's all a good dance as well. If you get your jiggy with it and have a good dance and do your best, and don't take yourself or anything else too seriously. That's I think is an important key to that dance.
I'll tell you something. I've just put my hand in my pocket of my shorts and pulled out a tea bag. Right. How can I take myself seriously? I remember when I put it in my pocket thinking, put that in your pocket. I can't remember why now. And it reminded me of when I was at boarding school and you had to eat all the food I gave you, right? You had to. And I hate sardines, especially those horrible tin ones swimming in grease. And it was sardines. So I put them in my pocket. And when you're 11 years old, you got like a purse and chewing gum and conkers with string and a pen and all shit in your pocket. And so I had sardines in my pocket. And I remember the next day, the matron calling me by my surname, Rosso, come here. So I go to the matron's office and she says, Rosso, why have you got sardines in your pocket, boy? And you know how you don't answer, you just look at the ground and be off with you. I can't tell you why I've got sardines in my pocket, matron. It's because I'm mad, that's why. And I'm mad because I'm going to eat this shit food that you're trying to give me here. Yeah.
well, actually, for me, when you pulled out the tea bag, I remember the Tommy. I'm sure it was Tommy Cooper. It was either Morecambe from Morecambe Wiseman. I'm pretty sure it's Tommy Cooper. That Tommy Cooper did this thing where he would go for drives in taxis in London, and back in the day. So this was like in the 60s and 70s. Most taxi drivers, the black cab drivers, they would wear the old button shirts and have pockets, and he would pay the taxi driver, and you'd hear him scrumple what sounded like a note, and he'd say, here's something for later, and he'd put it in their top pocket and walk away, and he'd order those. So here's something to get yourself a drink later, and they'll pick out the pocket and it'd be a tea bag, and I love that sort of joke. The whole, it's sort of like left there to, you're not going to see the joke, but where you're setting the gag up, and when they have the gag for later. And I've grown up with that sort of humour. I love the Tommy Cooper, Morecambe and Wise. I the Carry On movies. That slightly, that was the more slightly naughty humour, but the innuendos and the thing, playing with words and having words that mean something else. I've always loved that sort of humour, and I've always tried to play on that. Is that there's too many people far too serious out there, and the serious way is what is why the world is the way it is. A lot of it, that fear and focusing on war and this and that. And the true, we mentioned martial arts. The true martial art way is about personal development, is about actually growing and helping each other. Yes, when you have to go to war, these skills are for this, but in the peacetime, your skills are for healing. Your skills are for helping people grow and helping people expand. And that's what I try to put out there, and I know that's what you put out there. And the whole thing of just enjoying this life and trying to help people see things in a different way as much as possible.
So are you saying that more people need to have tea bags in their pocket, do you reckon?
Oh, I think we could start a new trend here, Barefoot. I think this is maybe this is a new thing. Maybe I might start doing that instead of being, instead of taking people's money, putting tea bags into their pockets and into their handbags as they're walking along. See if I can get. Can you get arrested for giving people stuff rather than stealing? If a thief is taking it away, what's the opposite? The tea bag giver.
That could be a new thing. It'd be all right if you did it gently and asked permission first.
Right, of course, yes. Yeah. So, I loved. I do love that idea. Or just giving a bit of sparkle. is letting people, is allowing people to smile. That is one of those interesting things of when you smile at people. Or I found, I'm very much West London, and when you're near the coast or you're on holiday and you smile at people, most people smile back because they're in a very relaxed place. But in West London, in the hustle and bustle and the stress of life, you smile at people and they think you're mad. A lot of people think you're mad. So there's I always try to, I smile a lot, but I always try to do it in a way that makes them laugh as well, or do things a little bit silly, just to make people laugh. Because it's far too easier. What the medical profession say, it takes less muscles in the face to frown than it does to smile. So smile takes more effort, but once you get that smile activated, it raises the heart and it energizes people far more. So it's learning to get people to go more the loving way than the easy way. And we've lost Barefoot again. He's disappeared into the ether. Right, let's see if we can bring him back for one more go. One more route. I don't know. I think that's the empty Barefoot. That's not the Barefoot. No Barefoot there. There's no Barefoot in that one. But there could be a Barefoot in this one as another one pops up in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
There he is. There's the man himself.
Yeah, it's such a crap platform, this Be Live thing. It never works properly, does it? It's not stable.
I'm very much decided. I think I'm going to go to Zoom. I think I'm going to give this up and go to Zoom. Are you hearing Be Live? Are you hearing me? So yes, I do have that as well, and I think maybe next time we'll do it on Zoom. It's just that I do like the scrolling stuff and all the things you. That's the thing I like about this. That's why I'm still a little bit persistent and been trying to stay with it. But
that's what everyone's been doing.
yeah, exactly. That's the only reason it's still going, because everyone says just a little bit longer, they'll get better, just a little bit longer. So it's like a broken clock. It's right twice a day. Sooner or later, we're going to be right. Sooner or later, it will work. Well, thank you so much, dear sir. Even with the tech issues, yet again, this has been a great show. I love having you on the show. It's a great privilege and pleasure. Stay around for just a little bit longer. But everybody else, I hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, go to Zoom, I'm being told. Yes. Limery is saying go to Zoom. Yes, I've already got it. I think I'm going to have to end up actually using it full time. But I do like these titles. That's the only thing. But anyway, it may be time to go to Zoom. But for guys, so everybody else, so in 8 o'clock, which is in 2.5 hours' time, another Doc Joseph Delaney, we are doing a new monthly show with Dr. Laney, which is Doc and Sifu. I'm sure it's Sifu and Doc, but Doc and Sifu's monthly spiritual ponderings. So that will be happening in about 2.5 hours' time. And then we have another The Way of Conscious Mindfulness show later with Margaret Gresso, and we are talking about being I'll change it from being a swear word, being unpuckable. So being unpuckable is at 10 o'clock, which is in 4.5 hours' time for those in the States, or 10 o'clock UK time is 5 o'clock Eastern time. If you're anywhere else in the States, you'll have to figure it out on your own, because I do have a lot of stateside people. So that's it. So, guys, see you at 8 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time for Sifu and Doc's spiritual ponderings. Otherwise, that's it for now. Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much, Barefoot, for this great show. And, guys, go and look onto the Barefoot's. I've got the links for Barefoot down below. Go and look on Barefoot's website and go and look for the music he's already done, the stuff he's already done. He's got many books out there over the years, which are all very cool, awesome books as well. So, guys, I implore you to go and find the Mighty Barefoot if you have not found him before. And if you haven't found him before, where have you been? But anyway, that's it for now. So, guys, take care. Until next time, whenever that is for you, it's goodbye from the Mighty Barefoot Doctor. It's goodbye from... Bye, as he says. Goodbye from the mighty apparently I'm mighty, the mighty Sifu Boggy, that's me, and from the even mightier, the Way of Conscious Mindfulness. So take care, guys. Until next time, love, chi and shen.